But what I thought this video could be interesting for is for us to do a little bit more talking about Assetto Corsa Evo and our sort of general thoughts on it after having played it on more rigs. You might have already seen our first initial video, which was a very first impressions on the Fanatec booth with their rig. But so here's some more thoughts after we played a bit more. But also, interestingly, this is on, as I say, on the Alma rig. You're seeing here Assetto Corsa Evo with a motion rig. So that's full telemetry from the game. It's driving the tactile transducers. You've got the traction loss. You've got the motion. Already, Evo's not even out yet. It's not even in pre-alpha, and it's working with a super duper top end rig from Imsim. On the rig, currently driving into the wall, who's doing the testing for us here, we have this guy. We banned him. We banned him from Sim Racing Expo. What are you doing in here?
No.
I'm
on Sim Racing Expo.
Get out of here, get out. Ban Tortellini, everyone. Ban Tortellini, get out. Somehow comes back. I don't know, this guy just keeps appearing. Tortellini, you might know him, the most timed out guy in the Game of Muscle channel. He's driving badly whilst we talk through this. So, our thoughts on Assetto Corsa Evo at this point in time. Having used it on loads of different rigs at Sim Racing Expo, I will say there's been a lot of variation in the experience of how the game feels and plays, largely due to how the rigs have been set up and the wheel settings. I've actually spoke to people at Kunos from this, in between them stabbing me and kicking me and being angry at me, and they've said that actually for the launch of Evo, they're going to be really proactive in getting force feedback settings and details out to wheel manufacturers. Imsim with the rigs, Fanatec, Simucube, Moser, so that when you've got your force feedback wheel, you will have straight away out of the box good force feedback settings, so you won't have this different experience that everyone's having at Sim Racing Expo. Now, having said that, on this rig, I've managed to fiddle with some settings myself. Don't tell anyone, that's what I do, that's why all the rigs are broken, it's me. We turned the damper off on the wheel, and we also adjusted some settings in game. And I have to say, having dialed things down, removed some of the dampening, removing some of the filtering, AC definitely feels a lot more responsive than it did when I first played it. I would say though, there still is a little bit there where I think there could be a little bit more force feedback detail coming through it. There could be a bit more information coming through the wheel. Again, it's alpha, so I think things will move forwards. Really nice though this is a triple screen setup. It's not using triple screen at the moment. AC Evo will have triple screen support, will have VR support. You can see on these rigs that the game doesn't use a deferred renderer, it uses a forward renderer, so it's got traditional anti-aliasing. So if you're playing on triple screens, if you're playing in VR, AC Evo will run nice and should look nice. This rig here is only using a pathetic NVIDIA 3080 graphics card. Useless. We all need 4090s these days, maybe 5090. NVIDIA, hook me up please. 3080 on this system is hitting 80 to 120 FPS right now, and that is at night with about 12 AI cars. Hang on, Tortellini's ninth out of 10th. What a noob. He's been banned by Evo. He's not done his enough training yet. But yeah, if you're getting, this is a 4K screen as well, and the graphics actually look pretty decent, you know, full dynamic lights, vehicles with lights on, shadows and everything. If at 4K, that's already getting 97 to 100, and at the lows was about 70 FPS. With a 3080, not a TI, a standard 3080, then AC Evo already looks like it's a pretty well optimized game. Again, that is really good news for those of you that have 4K screens, gaming screens, and especially, most importantly of all, those of you that are cultured and play with VR headsets. Other things worth pointing out whilst we're here with this rig, I was really surprised, and one of the things with AC Evo, it's a really easy simulator to drive, not easy in a sort of SimCady way, it's just the cars are super progressive. Personally, I would like the vehicles to be a little bit more snappy. I would like it to be more direct, but it's not necessarily wrong, but it's certainly forgiving. And I definitely feel people that are big fans of the sort of more forgiving nature of Automobilista 2, or even like the forgiving slip of well, actually, the original AC is quite forgiving in many ways, and some aspects of Affialte too. I think they will really enjoy the driving of this. Race room as well, so that sort of forgivingness, I think really stands out. Kunos as well has said that for the Expo, they've obviously set the cars up here so that they're not that they're easy to drive setups, like all the car settings, all the caster, damper, diff settings and everything. They've set it up so the cars are as easy as possible to drive and as stable as possible. So we're going to have to wait for a build at home or preview builds before we can actually see what the cars are like when they're on more unhinged esports setups. But yeah, after playing it more on different rigs, it really does stand out to me how approachable and easy AC Evo is to drive, how sort of immediately intuitive it is. Again, there is really good depth of force feedback, but I think if you've got that intuitiveness, I think you need a little bit more richness to the force feedback to make it feel like you're doing a lot more whilst you're driving. So you're not crashing, but you're getting the enjoyment out of refining your driving whilst in that slip. And I think that's something they still need to work on. But yeah, with the settings set up right, I'm more optimistic than I was having used it on other rigs. And Tortolini finished in third, so he's redeemed himself here. So we just switched over to the wet now, and I've moved closer to the screens so you can see the game better. And one thing I really noticed on the Imsim Alma rig is that the traction loss, which is going to happen a lot when you're driving in the wet, as the back comes out on the vehicle, come on Tortolini, give us a bit of oversteer.
The TC is on.
Just welly it, it's overcome it, you're an esports driver. Look, there you go, they're stepping out a bit. Keep it going. So as the rear comes out, in the wet especially, it lines up so well. And I have to say, I was actually really surprised how well AC Evo lined up with the traction loss on this rig. And traction loss on rigs is one of the... Tortolini's demonstrating a 360 no-scope for you there on purpose to demo it. Traction loss is one of the things that actually can work quite well on motion rigs, especially with road cars. I think with some race cars it can be a bit slow and it can be a bit desiccated, but weirdly with AC Evo, maybe due to how pliable the vehicles are and how happy they are to be slid around, it works so well, surprisingly, with the traction loss that you get on this rig. And I think you probably had enough of me talking rubbish. Whilst Tortolini's driving here, he's a ACC Esports Pro. As there's a Niels Niox in the corner, look at this, they gather, the esports drivers. Say hello.
Hi.
There you go, that's it, that's the interview over. Yeah, enough of me, but let's, ACC, Legendary Pro, what are your opinions on Assetto Corsa Evo so far?
So, I think this is like it's just evolution of ACC, physics-wise. And it's so much more, everything is so much more progressive and like meaty and smooth. I assume because of higher refresh rates in physics, but I still think it's almost too approachable. Although like it should be approachable, but then when you do a mistake, it should bite you more. But it still feels really so natural and really nice. So for this to be the early build of the game, I am super positive.
So, and Tortolini, you've got to go and subscribe to him. He's already confirmed that he's going to be doing guide videos. He'll be teaching you how to drive all the public roads at maximum speed. That's actually just how he drives in real life as well. So finally he'll have a sim where he can use his real life skills in the sim and on the road and also incorporate it in training. If you were going to say, which sim at the moment do you think this is closest to for you? Compared to another sim?
Oh, this is definitely super close to ACC, but without all those annoying stuff about it.
Such as
just the tires that get stuck in the limit in a weird way, and the physics that are just not like progressive enough in certain areas.
It
all happened after 1.9 update.
Oh, it's all after the update. So you can agree that the original AC is probably a little bit better than ACC.
No.
Oh no, we almost got that on camera. But
AC had always the great approachability to because it was simple and stuff it had was great, but then it was limited to whatever it had simulated, right?
So you feel like this is a good compromise between the approachability of AC1, but then the advancements, more complex time on the
It finally brings those advancements, but it looks like ACC had a lot of flaws because it tried to simulate a lot, but there's a lot more going on, but it feels more like it's a holistic experience where everything works together a lot more.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Drive and talk. He was struggling there. He's not used. He's used to just being an e-sporter, but he's also used to VR. Oh, what are you excited? At the moment when you play ACC, Tortellini is a big VR driver.
Oh yeah.
ACC obviously not the best in VR. I mean, you've got it working quite well on your system, but are you excited that this will finally?
Yes.
A proper new game.
I am properly excited for this in VR, especially with all the content that you can have, and this is going to be great to experience in VR.
There you go. Thanks for that.
VR enjoyer.
Thanks for that interview there on the rig. But there you go, guys. That is a sort of rundown after a bit more time on Assetto Corsa Evo. The more I play it, the more optimistic I am about it. I think really what they really need to do is if they can just get a little bit more detail out of the force feedback and just get it all a little bit sharper. But there's for a pre-alpha, for a preview version of the game with just 3 cars, the more I play it, the more excited I get for it. And as again, this is on this crazy motion rig. It could be the ultimate sim for you to use with your ultimate sim rig if you ever have a few pennies to spare. Imsim are actually sending me 3 of these. Thank you, Imsim. Appreciate it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. We'll have more stuff from Sim Racing Expo 2024. Click the like button, subscribe, all that rubbish, but most importantly of all, make yourselves a big cup of tea and drink it. Take care and goodbye.